Chuck, man, it's an exciting day, and it's all because of this. Okay, this is our baby, and I was going to put signs up back here, but I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. But I know that it identifies as awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
So, exciting day. So we have an app. People. You know, I'm Doug. This is Chuck. We're the Bourbon Market. Would usually get, but we're going to get right into it today. So we started all of this stuff because of an app. Like I called Chuck and said, "Hey, do you know anything about building an app?" And he said,
"No." And Doug was like, "What do you mean you're in IT?" I'm like, "That doesn't encompass everything."
Yeah, like I thought IT was you could do anything that was, you know, but I was wrong. I had never built an app. Chuck had never built an app. We've got another partner that we're hoping you will meet soon. I had never built an app. So we knew what we wanted to do. So we just decided to kind of teach ourselves. So you all let us know what you think and what you think we've done with it. But so we're going to get right to it. Chuck, the exciting thing about this is bourbons are hard to find.
Very hard to find. Good ones are hard to find.
Yeah, like even your non-allocated bourbons, because of the popularity of your allocated stuff, your non-allocated bourbons, which we have been telling people to drink, it's kind of people like us, you know, our fault, because if not, those people would still be just going into a store and saying, "Hey, do you have Buffalo Trace?
Yeah.
Do you have Blanton's?" And when they said no, they'd just turn around and leave, and we'd be able to get what we want. But that's not what's happening. No. So let's tell them what our app does. Let's start at the very beginning. So when you log in, you're going to see what is the homepage. It's our trending screen. Trending screen is really cool because 25-mile radius from your location. Tell them what it shows them, Chuck.
It shows you the bourbons that have recently been bought in your area in a 25-mile location, the price it was bought at, the location it was bought at, and if it's been bought more than once, either at the same location or a different location, that it'll show you the store price it was bought at, and underneath that, the trending price. So it's basically the average of every bottle bought of that size and type of bourbon. So it splits it out and it does it the right way. So, you can, if the area in general is high or if just a store is high, and, you get to see all of that. So it allows you to make a better informed decision on where you should buy your bourbon or who has what, depending on what you're looking for. So it can, it's definitely a good tool that people don't currently have now, because now to currently do this, you either have to, most people just have to go to all those locations, and it's just the ones you know about. This also allows you to see things as far as stores that you might not even know exist in your area. And then you can take them, take a route to that store that they might have stuff that you didn't even know was there. It could be just a honey hole that's, nobody knows about.
And that's a good point, because so we've been beta testing, and I've got a store that, we work closely with, and they've already had people come in to the store to buy stuff that didn't realize that store was there before. And it's only because of this app.
Yeah.
So, the app is user driven, and we're going to show you how that is user driven, and how that information goes in on a few screens. But so let's go ahead. We were talking about the store price. You were talking about the location. The really cool thing is you can click that address and it pulls up the map in Google Maps, and you just hit
directions.
I think it's go here, directions, whatever it is. And it gives you directions directly to that store. You don't have to do anything other than hit that button.
Yeah.
So, now moving on to the next screen is videos. And so we've got our recipes from our podcast, and then our YouTube, and then also our YouTube videos on there. So, you can search those. You can look through those. You're watching this on YouTube. Tell everybody to watch it on YouTube. Comment. you know, turn on your notifications so that you can get, what's going on. Comment, tell us what we need to be doing, and tell us what you want to see. Tell us how we're doing. If we're not doing well, tell us.
If there's something you want to see us review that you might not have tried, that you want to see, what we think about it, just give us, shoot that in the comments, and we can actually make an episode out of it. Anything like that.
Exactly. So, we won't stay on that long. Moving on, there's a tab called pricing. And so what that is that's the MSRP of, man, we've gone through so many lists, and we know that we've missed bourbons, and we want you to tell us when we've missed bourbons. So we've given you that option to say, hey, there's this bourbon, it's this price. We'll look it up and verify it, but we'll add it to the list. You can search that list, and it truly is what it is. It says it's an MSRP list. Like, you look, it's going to vary state by state, location by location. We understand that, but we're giving you a pretty good idea of what that MSRP should be on that bourbon.
Yeah. And for those of you who are new to bourbon, look up the ones that everybody says that are popular, that you think that you have to go after. Those bottles are not worth $500 and $600. Those bottles are worth between $20 and $45, sometimes up to $60. But that's about as far as it goes for most of them. And they're selling either on the shelf at a store for $500 to $600 or $200 to $300, and they're just not worth that. So it allows you to go through and see if somebody's actually selling something at a decent price or they're not. It's a very good way to kind of normalize the field a little bit, so to speak, in any place, because we've done our research on why this app is needed. And there are people on the West Coast. I will tell you right now, if you're a West Coast person watching this video, you need this app, because there are people out there who are price gouging ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, Doug already said it. Buffalo Trace is one of them. And you all are paying $80 in some cases for that bottle, and it's worth $19. So let's, and
so here's the other thing is, and Chuck and I are going to give you a real quick, we are, here's the thing. So we do a video in this. Chuck doesn't realize that we do a video in this until just now, but the thing is be patient. Okay. Yeah. And you're going to find that Chuck and I, when it comes to this stuff, are some of the most patient people in the world. And we're going to help you out right now. Okay. And we do a course on this that, like I said, Chuck didn't know about, but I'm going to give you just a breakdown of the course. Okay. And here it is. Don't buy the bourbon. Wait until you can find it at the right price, because if you wait, you're going to find it. Okay? Yeah. There's an overview of it, and we aren't even going to charge you for that overview. Don't buy the bourbon. Use the app. Be patient. Sit on it. You don't have to have that bourbon tonight.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all there is to it. So now let's go to the next page, because this is really cool. This is your cabinet. Okay? If you've got a collection, we've all been there where we've been out in a store and we've seen a bottle and we were like, oh, I need that. And you buy it and you get back home and you put it right behind the bottle that is open of that same bourbon. So we've created your cabinet. You enter these bourbons. And so let's say now you're in the store, you look through and you're like, oh, I've got that. I'm going to buy this over here. Yeah. It's really helpful, Chuck.
Yeah, it's helped me already a couple times, because it's, if you do want to get into collecting, the higher number that you end up having in your cabinet at home, the harder it is to figure out and realize I've got this, I don't have this. It's harder as it goes along. So just remember what you do have.
And just because you're collecting doesn't mean that, like, Chuck and I would consider ourselves, I guess, collecting, but like, I don't think I have. Too. Well, I've got a bottle back there that is unopened. Yeah. And, it's just because I haven't got to it yet. But so on that screen is a button that says add bourbon. Okay. So you're going to hit that. Here's the thing. You go into the store and you use this to see what you should be paying. You find a good deal. You find a bourbon that's priced right. You hit add bourbon. It's going to say to enter a partial name so that you can search the drop down. We did that so that we can track these trending prices. Because if we didn't, everybody would enter Buffalo Trace as it would be in there as 10 different things.
Yeah.
This, you type it in, you get a drop down, you scroll through it and see exactly what you've got. You hit that, you enter the price that you paid, okay, before taxes. You hit the size. It's going to say 375, 750, 1000, 1750. Okay. If you're unsure about that, it's right there on the bottle. Okay. So check that. You hit choose photo. You take a picture of that bottle and then purchase location. You hit in there. Sometimes it'll pull it right up. Sometimes you'll have to type in where you're at. Then you hit create bourbon profile. What it does is it goes to that trending list. It shows people what you've just bought. It goes to your cabinet so that you can keep track of it. But the thing is you've got to tell people about this, because the more people that are out there going to these stores, the more stores you know about as a user.
Yep. You know more about your area that you might not have known before, which if you're seasoned at this, that aspect of it. I mean, there are still, depending on the metropolitan area, if you're in a metropolitan area, that there are probably still places you might not know, because people have their favorite stores and things like that. But if you're truly looking for bottles and you want the best chance of finding them, this app will give you that. Just based off of what can be added and where and when by different people, because everybody has a liquor store close to them. They all might not be close to you, but if they're within a 25-mile radius, like here where I'm at in Tennessee, there's relatively 2 towns that are close to each other. They're all going to pick up in that 25-mile radius for the most part. So you're going to be able to see a very big area of a lot of stores if people, when people start really using our app. So it's
absolutely. And here's the other thing. You're traveling. Okay. And so I spend time when I'm traveling just going around to different liquor stores. I run into stores and I waste a lot of time, because it seems like when you're traveling, if you're going to a place that a lot of people come to, if it's a vacation spot, everything seems to be a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I waste a lot of time doing that. But we're going to run back to that trending screen. So back to your home screen. Up there at the top is city, state, zip, or bourbon. You can search that by bourbon, and it will show you what bourbons have been in the area. But the other thing is, so like, let's say that I'm going to Houston. Houston's a huge bourbon area. I'm going to Houston. I can type in Houston, and I can zip code, Houston, Texas. I can pull that up, and it will give me the list of trending bourbons in that area. Okay, so now I know what people are buying in that area. I know where they're buying it. And once I get to Houston, I mean, you can right now if you want to, but you can hit that address and it pull it up in Google Maps and take you right to it.
Yeah.
So, incredible tool that we've given you. Okay. And we are so excited to be giving you this. Like, we built this for us. We really did. And then we realized we were like, this can help a lot of people. This can change the bourbon game in the fact that you're not just running around chasing bottles. Like you're literally looking and you're like, oh, okay. Now they may not still have, like say they had a Buffalo Trace for $24. They may not still have that. They may have sold that last bottle, but they had it.
Yeah.
So that means that you put a note in your mind and you're like, this guy gets, he gets those bourbons. But go in and look at what else they have, because there's so many good bourbons on the shelf. And I will tell you, we're also going to give you one more tip. Don't walk in the store and when they say, can I help you? You looking for anything in particular? Say, yeah, you got Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton's. Because they're going to tell you no.
Yeah.
Like most guys, some guys will say, yeah, it's back there. And that's because it's $80.
Yeah.
But guys that are selling it at retail were going to say, nah, I don't have any. When they've got 4 bottles sitting back there in the back. Okay. Yeah. So don't do it. Just go in, talk to them, look around, and then ask them if they've got it. And say, hey, I saw it I noticed in the Bourbon Market app that one had just been sold here. wanted to come by, had never been in, wanted to come in and see what you had.
Yeah.
Okay. Last piece, top right-hand corner of the trending screen. You pull that up. It's got our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitter, our Instagram, our email, and then it's got our privacy policy. Okay. So it's going to ask you for permission to use your location services. You need to turn that on, because if not, we don't know where you are to get that 25-mile radius.
And your camera and your media, because you had to have that for the photos. So
yeah, so we're not trying to track you. Okay, we're not. We want to see the bourbons. We want to know. We want the app to know where you're at, so that you can get those bourbons in your areas.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go back over to the cabinet screen, top right-hand corner, there's a little X. I don't know why you'd ever want to do it, but if you do, you can log out. So, I mean, it'll log you out. You can log back in. So that's our app. Okay. That right there is our baby. We want you to download it. We want you to tell everybody you know about it. Get it on your phone. Put it on every phone you've got. Okay. We're going to have, the thing is if you scan this QR code that's on the screen right now, you can take a screenshot of it, okay? Put it on every phone. And you're going to say, well, my wife doesn't drink bourbon. My husband doesn't drink bourbon. If you're, whoever doesn't drink bourbon, who cares? They may buy you bourbon if they have this app, because they can see what they need to pay for it. Yeah. So put it on their phone, tell them about it, and be like, hey, this is a perfect gift opportunity for you, because you can use this. You don't have to overpay for that bourbon. Yeah. Put it on your phone. Tell everybody you know. Shout it from the rooftops. Just when you get in trouble for shouting it from the rooftops, don't tell them we told you to do it. Okay? I'm Doug Romer.
I'm Chuck McGowan.
And we are the Bourbon.